Hey mamas, welcome to today's workout. Today we've got a 15-minute second trimester upper body strength workout. So we're going to be using dumbbells, something to elevate your hands, either a bench, a step, or some textbooks. And I use a variety of weights for my upper body depending on whether I'm working chest, biceps, triceps, or shoulders, which we're going to be doing all those. You might need a variety of weights. We're going to begin with on the moderate to heavy side for a kickstand row. So grab one dumbbell. We're going to take your right foot forward, left foot back, left toes in line with the right heel. We're going to hinge forward from the hips, dumbbell in that right hand, and pull toward the hip. Elbow comes up. I'll show you from the side profile here. So your feet are about hip distance apart. You're leaning into that front leg. Knee is soft in that front leg. And then you're pulling that dumbbell to your hip. The more you lean forward, the more pressure that's going to put on the low back. Not a bad thing, just something to be aware of. I want you to exhale, engage that core, and keep your spine long and straight, chin tucked, eye gaze about 6 feet in front of you to keep that nice neutral position. We're really engaging those lats by squeezing the elbow in nice and high, and we're engaging that posterior chain, hips and glutes as well, and creating nice stable base for the core for the posterior chain. Okay, let's switch that staggered stance. So left foot forward, right foot back, toes in line with the front heel. Switch hands with the dumbbell. We're gonna lean into that front leg. Again, pulling that dumbbell nice and high. Squeezing right here through the lats. So the elbow comes high, shoulder stays down. And again, you can hinge further forward, pushing the hips further back. But I don't want you to round your spine to try to get lower. Make sure you keep that nice neutral spine. Pushing through all four corners of that front foot, back foot, the heel is up. So we're really loading those hamstrings and glutes, especially in this leg right here. Using that breath as well. We always exhale through pursed lips on the eccentric phase, the hard part of the exercise. That's gonna help fire that deep core and pelvic floor with the movement. Okay, I'm gonna switch weights to a little bit lighter for an upright row, just slightly lighter than what I had. So 15 from 20 to 15. Bring your feet under your hips. We're gonna bring those dumbbells to the mid chest. So elbows up, dumbbells to the mid chest. Squeeze your, or bend your knees, relax your glutes. Keep your abs just drawn in, gentle brace of the core. Again, using that breath, squeezing the shoulder blades as you lift. So from the side, again, we got a nice neutral spine. We're not tilting anteriorly or posteriorly. We've got a nice neutral here. This one's great for shoulders, mid upper back posture. We're going to be focusing quite a bit on posture. That's really important, of course. During pregnancy, our posture can suffer a lot, especially as we get into the second trimester and beyond. Really want to focus on maintaining good posture. Okay, we're going to incorporate a little bit of lower body into that upright row. So we're going to do what's called a high pull. Starting feet under hips, we're going to bring the weights up just like an upright row, but drive the hips forward and come onto your toes. So a little bit of posterior chain now. Driving those hips forward, just lightly on the toes, and then go back down, heels to the ground. So I'll show you here, and we're still maintaining that neutral pelvis. So we're driving the hips slightly forward, but we're not anteriorly tilting the pelvis. We're using that posterior chain to power the movement upward. Keeping the dumbbells moving in a vertical line of pull. And that's also going to create momentum. So it takes a little bit out of the shoulders when we add that hip drive. Couple more here. And rest. All right, we're going to move now to a lateral raise with an extension. So I'm going to go from 15 to 10s. Feet under hips. We're going to work the shoulders. So a little bit smaller muscle might be more challenging if you had heavy weights for that last one. So we're going to come up to 90 degrees, extend out, bring it back to 90 degrees, and then all the way back down. Let's try that again. So it's 90 degrees, and then just extend out to the side. You're not locking out your arms totally. You're just going out as far as you can where you're not compensating. And what that usually looks like is using your hips like this to try to create momentum to get the weights up. So make sure you're keeping that spine in neutral, hips stacked under the ribs. And this one is tough. With 10s, I'm like, I might have gone down if I thought about it a little bit more. But sometimes it's good to push through and struggle, because you'll never get stronger if it's not a struggle at the end of the set. It should be hard to finish those last couple reps. That's good. Okay, alternating bicep curls. We're gonna do one arm at a time. So I'm gonna stay with the same weights here. Just one at a time, focusing on rotating that dumbbell toward the shoulder line. So we're coming to the shoulder line, thumb on the outside. Again, maintaining that nice neutral pelvis, neutral spine. And again, I'd rather you go slower and have those weights feel heavier than you be able to move really quickly and get more reps. It's not about the rep count. In fact, if you're doing more than 30 reps, you need to go heavier. If you're not struggling at the end, you need to go heavier, because that is the way to build muscle. And pregnancy is usually a time when people lose muscle. It doesn't have to be that way, but we want to be able to build and maintain as we progress through pregnancy. All right, next up, we've got bicep curl 21s. So I'm gonna stay with the 10s. We're gonna do 21 reps total. So 7 bottom range, 7 from the top to mid range, and then 7 full range. Here we go. Bottom range, from the bottom, stop at 90 degrees. We want those elbows under shoulders. Squeeze forearms to biceps. 5, 6, 7. Now up, and then 7 from the top down. From the top, stop at mid-range. 5. And if you don't get all 21 reps, that's okay. It's supposed to be a challenge, and it's a shorter interval than normal. Okay, that's 7. Now from the bottom all the way to the top. 7. Use that breath. Turn the thumbs to the outside. 4 more. We're just barely gonna make it, or I am. 3, 2, 1. Good work. Okay, if you didn't make it, no sweat. You can keep going, or you can stop there. It's supposed to be a challenge. Okay, now what we're gonna do is a preacher curl. So I'm gonna stay with those same weights. We're gonna keep the feet under the hips, and we're gonna tip forward from the hips, taking those dumbbells to the knees. So hips go back. We're gonna let those dumbbells rotate, so palms to the front. Bring the weights up to your shoulder line, back down, and then stand all the way up. So you can see I'm rotating, knuckles to the back, palms to the front as I sit back into my hips. Bring the weights up just like a bicep curl. Let the dumbbells hang, and then stand. So from the side, hips go back, dumbbells rotate. You'll see them hang right under the shoulder line. Bring them forward of the shoulders, back down, dumbbells under shoulders. So it's gonna keep the load in the arms the entire time, because even when we're at the bottom, it's not the resting phase until we return to standing. It's gonna load the back body, so make sure you keep that core tight, nice, long, straight back. All right, we're gonna move to a tricep extension on our back. So go ahead and make your way to the floor. We're only gonna be here for a short amount of time, so don't worry too much about being on your back. It should be safe and fine as long as you're not feeling dizzy or uncomfortable. We're gonna take both dumbbells up to the sky. Front dumbbell is gonna come down by the ear, pointing upward, elbow up, extend all the way back to the top. Back dumbbell goes down by the ear, elbow up, return over the shoulder here. So we're going one at a time, focusing on slow, controlled reps. It should feel a little bit challenging even from the start. You don't want those weights to feel really light in hand. But we are working a small muscle, so I'm staying with 10s again. You don't need a lot of weight, but you do want something, again, that's gonna push you and feel challenging in the last few reps here. Good work. Okay, now what we're gonna do is put those 2 dumbbells together. So we're basically making a 20-pound weight, smushing them together if you can. We're gonna do what's called a diamond press. This time we're gonna take the dumbbells to the ribs, elbows come down by your side, and then push back to the top. Now, if you need to take a break, turn to your side for a minute, that is fine. But again, lying on your back, a lot of people have spread the myth that it's not safe to lie on your back during pregnancy after the first trimester. That's actually not true. It's perfectly fine to do so. And you can do it as long as, again, you're not feeling dizzy or unwell. it's perfectly safe to exercise on your back. And we're not here for more than a couple minutes. So after this, it's only gonna be 90 seconds. And if you need a break, just take a break. So again, to the ribs, depending on how big your belly is, you might not be able to go as low. That is okay. Just keep those elbows in. Lower ribs is the target here. And we're putting those weights together, multiplying the weight, and we're gonna feel that in the triceps, shoulders, back. Okay, now what we're gonna do is lose those weights, carefully roll to your side and find your bench or something that's gonna elevate your hands. You do not have to elevate the hands, but just an option. We're gonna do a tricep push-up. So hands about shoulder width apart. We're gonna begin on the knees. You can also bring the knees forward. So we're gonna take that chest to elbow level, elbows to the back, and your shoulders are gonna come forward over your wrists here. Use that core exhale on the push, belly button to spine, keeping that long straight back. If you want to make it easier, walk the knees in and still hit that range where your chest is going about elbow level. And again, you want to keep the elbows in tight, keeping that body weight shifted forward here to load the upper body. Again, nice, slow, controlled reps. Technique is paramount here, so it's not about the speed. If we take our time too, we're gonna feel that pressure build where we want it in the back of those arms. All right, quick rest. We're gonna move on to our chest now. So I'm gonna go a bit heavier for my chest. That's just what I like to do, what I can handle. So on your back, we're gonna do an alternating chest press. So carefully come on over there. We're gonna bring both weights up to starting position over the mid chest. We're gonna drop that front dumbbell, elbow comes out to 90 degrees, touching the floor gently, and then back dumbbell. Use that breath, push to the top. Chest, shoulders, a little bit of biceps and triceps. So it's more muscles involved here, bigger muscles. You might be able to go heavier than you think. So don't be afraid to try it. Again, the way to achieve strength in pregnancy and in general is to push to failure. And that doesn't mean you're sweating, you're out of breath, you feel like you're gonna die. It just means you feel like you're pretty much done at the end of the set. You couldn't do a lot more reps. You maybe struggle to finish or you don't finish. And those are all good signs that your muscles are working, they're building. Okay, we're gonna keep those weights, this time chest fly. Make sure you're not gonna hit the wall. I might scoot a little bit further forward. So you're gonna take those dumbbells, this time rotate them, palms face inward. We're gonna take those arms wide, elbows just to the ground, and then back up. So your arms are bent just a little bit. We wanna lead with the elbows and keep the biceps locked. So when we come back up, we're not bending the arms, we're keeping them tense and making like a little half circle. So we're really getting into those pectoral muscles to isolate the chest. And this is gonna feel harder if you've got the same weights because it's more of an isolation exercise for the chest, taking out those biceps and triceps. Still using that breath. You might struggle, again, that's a good thing. All right, we are gonna move now back to our push-ups. Carefully roll onto your side. We're gonna do some elevated push-ups. This time we're gonna alternate the hands that are on that bench. So we're gonna start with one hand off, one hand on. Now you don't have to use a bench as tall as this, but you can, if you want, you can use textbooks. I wouldn't go much taller than a foot. So we're gonna push up, chest goes to bench level, and we're gonna move across, push up on the other side. So your chest is only gonna go to about bench level. It's a little bit of a lower range, and then you're using your core to go side to side. And what that's gonna help you do, adding the elevation, is going to help you find more stability, make it a little less challenging. So if you wanna make it more challenging, you can just do it without the bench. Surprisingly, that makes it more challenging, and you can just walk across without one hand being elevated. Just more pressure for the upper body without that bench. So if you're wanting more stability, add a little elevation of the hands, or you can also do it on the wall. We're gonna finish with shoulder taps. So hands under shoulders, walk your knees back, take your feet or knees wide. You can also do it on the toes if you're feeling good. Shoulder taps. Try to keep your hips totally still. Try to keep them square to the floor. Hands go right back under their shoulders. Core really tight here. So it's shoulders, but it's also a lot of core stability here. If you're finding you're rocking a lot, I want you to just go ahead and bring your knees under your hips. You're still gonna get benefits to the shoulders and core, it's just not gonna be quite as intense. We're in the last exercise. Try to keep your hand off the floor a little longer. That's gonna make it more challenging. Can you do that? It's not about how many reps or how fast you can go. It's finding that stability, hanging onto it. Building strength till the very last second. We are done. There it is, our 15-minute second trimester upper body strength workout. I hope you guys are doing well in your second trimester, hanging in there. Let me know how you're feeling, what workouts you're enjoying, which ones have challenged you. Let me know how your energy is. I know for me, I'm getting a little bit of energy back in my second trimester, but I still really want a nap. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Be sure to stick around for more prenatal workouts. I'm going to be taking you through my entire pregnancy with a variety of workouts for each trimester, and then postpartum, of course, as well. So I'll see you back here next time.